Well, hello everybody. Welcome to today's broadcast. Welcome to today's session of Reinvention Saturdays. My name is Benjamin Kamoye, and I'm delighted to serve you here today. Thank you for joining me. Reinvention Saturdays is an initiative to, continue to invest in you. You see, I totally believe that you are your most appreciable asset. And if you can really develop your capacity, understand how you lead, and grow your leadership potential, you can have the ability to create the results that you want. One of my big persuasions in life is that all of us have got brilliance within us. And that brilliance needs to be mastered. That brilliance needs to be manifested out into the world. And that brilliance needs to be monetized. And hence the reinvention journey. Because where we are today and where we desire to be tomorrow is a journey. And that journey requires reinvention. And as we reinvent ourselves for, income and impact, Reinvention Saturdays is one of those spaces where you could really come in and grow and develop and tap one idea as you grow in life. My name is Benjamin Kamoye, and I'm gifted as a creative communicator. Thank you for coming alongside me here today. My mission in life really is to raise a generation of leaders in the marketplace whose power and influence comes from a relationship with God. I remember back in 2012, I was together with my son. That time he was just about 1 year old. And I was in every space in my life. I was pissed off. I was doing close to 15 different things in search of income and impact. You could say I was 1 mile wide and less than an inch deep. I was not having income and I was not having as much impact. And that really was a frustrating moment. And when I stopped right there and I took a manila paper and on the wall I wrote down all the things that I used to write down, I had close to 15, 20 things. And when I began to look at what are the skills and abilities that help me to do these things, I found creativity and communication. And it's from that then I launched this journey of helping people reinvent themselves. I am in the space now as a corporate trainer, working with organizations and helping them really uncover what is this that they're trying to do, what impact are they trying to create, and working with their teams to bring their brilliance to the table and create collective intelligence that achieves the dream in such a way that provides great impact and income for the organization, but also for the individuals, something that we're proud about. And today's session is leading from purpose versus safety. Leading from purpose versus leading from safety. Now, what has this got to do with the journey of manifesting your brilliance? It has everything to do with it, and this is it. Every single day you're making decisions. Every single day you are in spaces where you're required to choose a certain path over another. In service of your dream, in service of your goals, desires, and wants and aspirations, you're choosing one over the other. And that right there, though you may not appreciate it as it is a leadership moment. You see, leadership happens in moments. Leadership is not so much a title, authority, an office, a seat, big, grandiose kind of, privileges. That is not what leadership is. It's not the entire story. We see leadership in that way, but that's really not what leadership is. Those are leadership positions of leadership, positions of influence, and offices where you might say authority sits. But leadership in its most bare form is experienced when every man or woman is seeking to make a decision to move from here to there. I remember one of the questions that someone asked me is, why must we have leaders? What's the justification really for having leaders? And I said the justification for leaders is because in life we are here in point A and we desire to go there, which is point B. And there could be for you better income, it could be for you better relationships, better physical health, a certain lifestyle that you seek, and that distance between A and B, there is a gap. And this gap is what justifies leadership. This is the justification for leadership. And what is leadership? Leadership is the deployment of self into circumstance. Leadership is the deployment of self into circumstance. Bob Anderson, the founder of the Leadership Circle Profile, really unpacks it so well. You see, back to this idea of leadership happens in moments. Every day you're faced with a decision. And there's a way you deploy yourself into that circumstance. That's the leadership you're providing to yourself in order for you to get from here to there. And so leading from purpose to safety requires us, number one, to understand that I'm leading every day of my life. I don't need to have a position. I don't need to have a title. I'm leading every moment in my life. In workshops, I'll ask people, let me see just by a show of hands, how many of you here are leaders? And few people will look around the room and like, am I a leader? I know those are the leaders, the prefects and the assistant monitors and the supervisors and the managers, those are the leaders. I'm not a leader. And that's wrong. All of us are leading. All types of leadership, is dependent on personal leadership. The extent and the quality that I provide in terms of leading myself is a direct proportion to the kind of leadership that I provide for others. And so leadership happens in moments. And in those moments, there is a journey, there is a deployment of self into that journey, moving from here to there. What does that have to do with leading from purpose and leading from safety? It has everything. Just a minute here. When I remember our daughter when she was 2 years old, that's all our children. We have 3 children right now. Our son is 9, our daughter is 6, and our acting last one, is just about to turn 2. And for all of them, there's one thing that I've seen in them. They get to this age, and more probably some of you are like that, or your children are like that, or you've seen children that you've interacted with that are like that. At around 1.5 years old, my daughter, my son, they began to say, I want to do it all by myself. Here I was, I'm trying to feed her and put some rice with stew in her mouth, and she's like, no, I want to do it all by myself. And she would take the spoon and she would shake her hand and try to bring it into her mouth, and once it was in her mouth, she was like, yeah, I did it. And how many grains of rice did she put in her mouth? 2. The other 10 were on the floor. She was excited. And I'm trying to get her to wear her shoes, and she's telling me, no, I want to do it all by myself. All right, let me help you do it. She'll do it the opposite way. But this is the idea here. We are spirit. We're spirit. I talked about this in the last session, the preceding sessions. We are spirit. And spirit seeks fuller expression. It seeks fuller expression. And because spirit is the one that bears the blueprint of our greatness, of our genius, of the leader within us, of the possibilities of what we could do, have, become, create, it seeks fuller expression in every moment. That's why even if it's an old elderly man, even in those last moments, there's just a spirit is seeking just to express itself and to live more and to do more. You've seen how we experience moments when you're just about to choke. Just imagine the amount of energy that comes from within you to help you not to choke. And there is an expression of I want to live, and I want to live life at its fullest. And that spirit that seeks full expression is what we see leadership in its best moments. Is what we see leadership saying, I want to go there. For my 2-year-old daughter, my son, I want to do it all by myself. I want to feed myself. I want to do it by myself. And the journey from here to there is her deploying herself. Now back to us, leadership happens in moments. Every day, there are moments where you're required to make a decision. And in those moments, you either lead from purpose or you lead from safety. Let's unpack this idea a little bit more. Purpose versus safety. And by the way, for those of you who are just coming on right now, thank you for joining us here today. Reinvention Saturdays are about adding value to you so that you can manifest your brilliance. Manifest your brilliance. And for you to manifest your brilliance, you need to master it. And we are also so much about manifesting not just your brilliance, but also monetizing that brilliance. Kindly click like and share this so that it can get to as many people as possible and get the message out there. Leading from purpose versus leading from safety. Let me take you back to when you were young. And when you were young, there are several things that happen. As you are being raised and brought up in whatever society you are in, there are certain rules, conditions, and expectations that society placed upon you. Society said, in order for you to become, in order for us to consider you as someone who is worthy of respect, honor, dignity, in order for us to regard you as someone, there are certain rules, conditions, and expectations. And most of these rules and conditions are to really protect us and to get us on that, path where we are disciplined and we are within what you would call the social norms. That's great. There's a place for that. What happens in this journey and in this process is that we become socialized. We become socialized to draw our identity from the results, relationships, and reason. Let me unpack that a little bit more. You're growing up in society, and society tells you, tell you what, this is what it is to be. So socialized. You become socialized. Society says that the rules, conditions, and expectations. You become socialized. And as you become socialized, the three main pillars where you really are socialized is in your relationships. The first R. In results and reason. If you look at society, what it says is that, in order for you to become great and for us to regard you as someone, you've got to be able to develop, meaningful relationships, value-adding relationships, connect with people, be loved, be liked, be accepted. You don't want to be that person who people don't like. And so do everything you can to be loved, liked, and accepted. Second thing society tells you is, hey, you need to pursue results. You need to get big, results. You need to be ambitious. You need to be driven. You need to work hard. You need to win all the time. You need to be the best at what you do, okay? All right. The other thing that society really socializes as in the third R is reason. In other words, you've got to be smart. You've got to be a choppy. You've got to do your exams. You've got to pass those exams. You've got to be number one. Everybody in the class, be number one. Even if that's not really your area of strength. Socialized by society, we drive ourselves hard to be loved, liked, and accepted, to be in relationships at all costs, to attain results, again, at all costs, and to be the smartest at all costs. For those of you who are my countrymen in Kenya, the Kenya Certificate in Secondary Education Examination is a big deal because it is a big source of identity for 14 and 13-year-olds. For 20-year-olds, failing in this kind of exam is like, it's like a death spell. I mean, you'll never amount to anything. I disagree. Absolutely. But society has socialized us. There are rules. There are expectations. Yeah. And conditions. Now, what does this have to do with leadership? Come with me. When we're socialized to pursue relationships, results, and reason, in order for society to put a rubber stamp and say, good, I see you pursue that relationship, keep it up, good. I see you pursue those results in that way, good. I see you pursue reason and intellect in that way, good. What we begin to do is we form internal assumptions that become the building blocks of our identity. That's dangerous. We form internal assumptions. Our meaning-making system when we are young says, okay, if I am in this relationship, then I'm good. Society is happy with me. Yes. So I'm going to do everything to get into these relationships. Then it means that I am my relationship. So identity creeps in. And now relationships are not just something, but relationships are who you are. The quality and the quantity of your relationships is you. The quality and the quantity of your results is you. The quality and the quantity of your reason is you. So what are we seeing in our societies right now? People are doing everything to be seen as smart, to show themselves as smart, to pass the exam. Whatever you do, even if you're going to steal, cheat in the exam, cheat. But be the number one. Whatever you're going to do to achieve success, do it. Cheat, steal, be corrupt, get the results. And it's almost like, yeah, you've got the results. People don't really kind of care where you get it from. But hey, I am my results. I am worthy, I'm good, I'm great. That's what society wants. At the same time, I am my relationship. So I'm loved, I'm liked, I'm accepted, I'm Mr. Nice Guy, I'm the people's people. Bingo! I'm great. The internal assumptions that have come from these socializations, the expectations, the rules, and the conditions have formed our identity. Now my worth, and my safety as a person, how worth I am, how good I feel about myself is in the quality of relationships I have. How great I feel about myself is in the results that I create. And how worthy I feel is in the reason that I have. So what that creates is it creates something like a stock market, thing over there. In other words, what it means is that in the pursuit of relationships, when I'm here with relationships, I'm doing well, people love me, people like me, I'm great, I'm worthy. I feel I'm more valuable. When I'm down here and I've made a decision that said God's what I want, but has put the relationship into at risk, then I'm a bad person. And I feel really bad. Now, this has got everything to do with leadership, because in leadership, it's not about position or title. We're leading in moment by moment by moment. I'm faced with a decision right now. In society, in my organization, to speak my truth, to speak my mind, to say I feel that strategy will not get us to where we want to go. Sorry, Mr. Director, I think there's something wrong with the statement that you made. Hey, I think there's something wrong with this behavior. Doing that endangers relationships. When you're in a society and you see certain things going wrong, and you say, wait a minute, this is a result we're supposed to be pursuing. And you call out people and you say, no, we're not going to do that because that does not take us to where we want to go. And you're fired from your job. You're not going to be able to achieve your results. You won't be able to pay your bills. I mean, you're in danger. And so, for you to remain in that place, mouth shut, don't say anything. And then we're in meetings, you're just about to do a presentation. And someone asks you a question that challenges what you just presented there. And because you don't want to look stupid, because remember, I am my results. If I look stupid, stock market has come down. If I look smart, boom, stock market has gone up. My worth has gone up. My worth has gone down. And so you assert yourself. You do everything that you can to position yourself as this person who is smart. These are the three key drivers. So what does that mean in leadership? I started with leading from safety here because 75% from research, more than 75% of the world leaders are operating from a reactive structure, what we call socialized mind. So this is what happens. We're looking at those results, relationships, and reason. Okay? And these are strengths. Remember, society has helped us to develop. These are hearts. Yeah? These are relationships. This is head. This is reason. And this is hand. This is results. Okay? So the three key areas where you're developing your identity from. So if your identity is that I am my relationships, I am my reason, and I am my results, what happens is that whenever there is a problem, what you do is you look at what is going to happen here. Maybe the problem is I need to call out my boss for what he has done. I need to call out my boss for what he has not done. If I do that, I'm going to fall out of favor with him. He's going to disapprove of me. He will not like me, he will not love me, he will not accept me, he might actually fire me. So in this moment, what do I need to do? I need to lead in a way that I remain safe. I need to lead in such a way that I maintain the relationship. In other words, I'm going to choose safety. I'm going to choose safety. Oh, it's safe. Let me not speak my mind. Let me not get disapproved here. Let me not tell my spouse that I don't like the way she does this, because if I do that, she may not like me. Let me not tell my friend that I don't like this. Because if I do that, he may not like me. He may be unhappy. And you know what? Society tells me that I've got to be loved, liked, and accepted. I've got to be the Mr. and Mrs. Nice Guy. Mrs. Nice Girl. And so your friend has got something in their teeth. It does come from eating vegetables, but you won't tell them because, hey, I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to tell them to tell me, you go away, what are you doing? You know? You see this happening so much in our society. Somebody comes into a room, their fly is open, everybody's like, someone to tell them. Someone to tell them. We don't want to be the bearer of bad news. We don't want to be the bearer of the news that kind of puts someone in an awkward position. Because we've been taught that we need to be loved, liked, and accepted. And if that means looking at you when your fly is open, or you have bad breath, or you have some bean or green vegetable in your teeth, that's okay. Someone tell you, but not me. I won't be the bearer of bad news because you might love me not. You might not accept me. You might disapprove of me. And so I'm choosing it to be safe. And why is it safe? In the roller coaster story we're talking about here, my worth comes from being loved. And when I'm up here, I'm being loved. When I'm up here, liked and accepted. I'm great. I'm meeting society standards. Good. But when I'm down here, oh my goodness, I've lost it. Whoa, they don't like me anymore. They don't love me anymore. It's not safe down here. It's not. Up here, it's safe and it's great. And that is what we're talking about when we talk about leading from safety. Your decisions in a moment by moment are filtered through the internal assumptions of what does it mean to be good as far as society is concerned in the three main pillars of relationships, reason, and results. What does it mean to be good? And so I will do everything to protect what society says is good. Because at the end of the day, I want society to look at me and say, Benjamin, bingo, you did well. And that is leading from safety. Your decisions are filtered through this idea of, is it safe for me to do this? Is it safe? Safe in terms of what? In terms of endangering my position as it concerns relationships. Is it safe for me to do this? Am I going to fall out of favor with people? Yes, then I won't do it. You're leading from safety. Is it okay for me to stand up and say, I don't know the answer? No, it's not safe. People will think you're stupid. So don't do that. Okay, I won't do that. I'm going to do everything for them to continue to think that I'm the smart person. So I won't do that. It's not safe. You're leading from safety. Oh, wait a minute. Am I going to be the failure here? No. I'm going to do everything to get the results. Even if it means stealing, being corrupt, cutting my way through, I'm going to do everything to get those outcomes. Why? Because if I don't get them, people will say I'm not successful. People will say I'm a failure. And I can't have that. And because I can't have that, I'll do everything it takes. We go into overdrive. Constantly looking at what society wants and expects of us. We're leading from safety. And what is the main driver here? What is the main driver here? Fear. Fear is the big driver when we are leading from safety. I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of looking stupid or foolish. I'm afraid of being disapproved or rejected. So I'll do everything not to be rejected. I pursue safety. I'll do everything not to look stupid. I pursue safety. I'm doing everything not to fail. Pursuing safety. This is leading from safety. What does this mean for you? Because most of us are leading from here, 75% of the world. It means that you should change yourself. If you go back to where we started, and we talked about leadership as being that justification between point A and B. If I'm leading from safety, as I move from A to B, I calibrate my input based on what society expects. And so what this happens is what I liken to, imagine driving your vehicle from your home to the office, and for every time you're pressing the accelerator, you're also pressing the brake. Imagine what that would be like. And that's what happens here. You want to go there, But society says, whoa, wait a minute, if you speak up against your boss, you're going to be fired. You press the brakes. What happens to your journey? How are you going to get there? You'll get there at some point. But you know how the journey is going to be like. And this is what we see in our society as being, we're no longer able to call people out, hold people accountable. We're in dysfunctional families. Because I cannot call out my sister. We cannot talk about her behavior, which is really, bad behavior. We can't do that because, I don't want to have problems with my sister. And so we meet in spaces, and what we have is artificial harmony, not actual real relationships. We have artificial harmony, and we say, hi everybody, hey, are you okay? Oh, it's so good to see you. But then I was like, what? Tell you what, you're my sister? Yeah, hi, how are you? It's okay. Artificial harmony. And that's what we're seeing in our nation. We're very dysfunctional. We never stand up, speak out the truth, and really call out bad behaviors because, hey, it's not safe to do that. So, man, let me lead from safety. I want you to reflect on this because in the journey of you manifesting your brilliance into the world and monetizing your brilliance, safety is going to cost you a lot of energy. Safety will limit your effectiveness. Safety will cause you to limit authentic expression. You won't speak your truth. You won't speak your truth. And I have been a victim of leading from safety. I stayed in relationships because I wanted to be loved, liked, and accepted. And those relationships constantly just, every time it's like I had to hunch down to be loved. This is the body, this is the posture for safety. You want to be loved. You have to be down so that this person loves, likes, and accepts you and gives you what you need in order to feel worthy. And that's leading from safety. Let's talk about leading from purpose. Leading from purpose is completely different. We've talked about this as a socialized mind. Society has got its rules, expectations, conditions. And from that, internal assumptions of I am my relationships, I am my results, I am my reason, therefore I need to play in a way that reinforces these identity forms. The self-authoring mind, which is leading from purpose, is very different. It's very different. Let's unpack that for a minute. 5 minutes here, and then we're going to be done. Self-authoring mind. Thank you so much for joining me. Could you please kindly like and share and comment with the idea that has really resonated with you? Help me get this message out there to as many people as possible. Self-authoring mind. This mind, a way of thinking, is different from socialized mind. Now, socialized mind, society says this is it. Self-authoring mind is where I begin to look at life and say, wait a minute, that's what society said. I beg to disagree. I think I could still achieve that, but from a different way of thinking. In other words, this mind is authoring itself and beginning to articulate for itself, hey, this is what I wish to create. This is what I want to bring forth. I know these are the conditions and the terms and the expectations of society, but I'm going to write my own code and rule book. And so this mind seeks to create what it desires and sees could happen. It has a completely different rule book. And as far as relationships, results, and reason are concerned, it's not so much that I am these things. The biggest differentiator here is that I have these things. I have them. I have them. They don't have me. I have them. And in other words, if I achieve high on relationships, okay, it's because I created that. If I've got great reason, it's because I created that. If I've got great results, it's because I created that. I'm not checking with society to say, do you love me now because I did this? No. It's from a place of what do I seek to create? What do I seek to bring forth? What is the purpose of my interaction here? What do I seek to bring forth? And that's why this big word here, to create, then means that you're purposeful. And in pursuit of that purpose, this way of thinking leads completely differently. Back to the examples that we've shared in the socialized mind. When one is leading from this way of thinking, the self-authoring mind, and by the way, for those of you who would love to read more about this, go check out the stages of adult development. Great research out there. Robert Keegan, professor out of Harvard University, is answering the question, how do we become adults? And his research uncovers that there are several stages that we go through as we become adults. One of those stages is socialized mind, the way we think. Another stage is self-authoring mind. Now, less than 10% of the world is operating at this structure of mind, a way of thinking. And this way of thinking really says, I'm not my results, I have results. I'm not my relationships, I have relationships. And therefore, as I'm relating to people, if I need to bring up the undiscussables, have difficult, sweaty palm conversations, I will have those conversations with them in pursuit of purpose, which is a great relationship. Whereas the socialized mind will say, oh my goodness, if I say that, they will hate me. This one says, yeah, I'm going to say it either way. If they hate me, it's unfortunate. I know who I am. I don't need them to like me for me to feel great. I'm just great the way I am. My value and my worth is in who I am. Now notice that we talked about internal assumptions that have been created by this socialization. This person doesn't have the same assumptions. Their assumptions are different. I am worthy whether they like me or not. I'm worthy whether they accept me or not. The socialized mind says I am worthy when they like me. I have to be a do-gooder for them to like me. I cannot be disapproved. This one says rejection is fine. I can take rejection. I can take failure. It's okay, I can look stupid. I can stand in front of the class and say, well, guys, by the way, I don't even know what you talked about. I've never heard that before. Could you share a little bit more? Wait a minute, because I'm not my reason. I'm not my intellect. I'm not my smartness. There are things I don't know. And I'm still worthy whether I know them or not. And so back to this analogy where we say there's this kind of stock market, going up and down. This person doesn't have this kind of dynamic. They don't have moments of, oh, now I look stupid. Oh, now I look, no, it's just straight. This is who I am. My identity is in who I have defined myself to be, not in what I have. My identity is solid, and it comes from these assumptions of I'm worthy. I'm worthy. My self-esteem this is who I am. It's not that I'm downplaying my limitations. I know I have limitations. And I know I have great strength, and I play to them. But I'm not taking my cue from society. This is a very different way of thinking, and as a result of that different way of thinking, provides very different leadership. So when we say that one is leading from purpose, they are in pursuit of what is sought to be created. So what are we trying to create? We want to have great relationships with people. So in pursuit of purpose, I'll tell you the hard truth. In pursuit of purpose, I'll appreciate you. It comes to reason. In pursuit of purpose, I'm composed. I'm composed when it looks like I don't know. I'm composed when I'm challenged. I'm a personal learner. I'm open to say, well, tell me more about that. I'd love to know that. I'm not trying to show my goodness, I'm the smartest person in the room, and by the way, you're wrong, I'm right. This kind of thinking says, wow, I want to know more. Tell me more. I've never heard that. Teach me. Teach me. In pursuit of purpose. In pursuit of purpose results. This kind of thinking and leadership says, what are we seeking to create? What decisions do we need to make? Should we fire some people? Well, we're going to fire some people. Leading from that way of thinking says, in pursuit of purpose, sorry, I think we have to let you go. That's completely different. So, are you leading from purpose or are you leading from safety? It's all a question of what are the internal assumptions driving you? What meaning do you give to results, relationships, and reason? Are you the person who is so embroiled in looking smart? Are you the person who is embroiled in being the fastest and the fast? F-A-S-T, F-I-R-S-T? Are you the person who is embroiled in, oh my goodness, they've got to like me, they've got to love me, so I'm going to do everything, I'm going to call, I'm going to shut, I'm going to dump down so that they like me. And in the process, you're not able to tell the truth. You're not able to really bring up the undiscussables. You're not able to disagree respectfully with people. So leading from safety is when you're articulating your identity from the definitions of relationships, results, and reason. That's leading from safety. And you hold yourself back. Now, in summary, leading from safety versus leading from purpose. Justification of leadership is the gap that exists between point A and B. We're moving from here. We're moving from here. We're going there. We're going to B. How we get there requires leadership. What is leadership? Leadership is deployment of self into circumstance. And how you deploy yourself is determined by the identity that you hold about yourself. Yeah, identity you hold about yourself. And so if the identity is from a socialized mind, I am my relationships, I am my results, I am my reason, I will pursue safety. I'll do what is safe so that I can maintain this. If my identity and internal assumptions are from a self-authoring mind, I will pursue purpose. And so the driver here becomes the passion. Can you see this? Can you see this? The driver here becomes passion. Passion. What do I want to create? The driver here becomes fear. When I'm leading from safety. Yeah. And so this is the difference between leading from purpose and leading from safety. This is the conversation we're having here today. Are you leading from purpose or are you leading from safety? So, leading from purpose is driven by passion. This one is driven by fear. That's the big idea. And as we go into creating that which we know could be possible for us, manifesting your brilliance, monetizing your brilliance, think about how much money do you want to earn? What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? And in pursuit of those things, what decisions must you make? When you make those decisions, are you going to be calibrating that, hey, I'm making these decisions so that they love me, like me, and accept me? I'm making these decisions so that I don't fail. I don't look like a failure. I'm making these decisions so that I don't look stupid. That's safety. Or I'm making these decisions to create what I need to create. If I fail, I'm going to learn again. If I fail, I'm going to learn again. I'm not a failure. I'm not a failure. This thing failed. It didn't work. I didn't know what I need to do. Go back, relearn, do it again. And in the process of leading from purpose, driven by passion, calibrating into I love this, I want this, I want to create this, and I've got energy for it, you go and create the great things that you know could be possible for you. But when you're leading from safety, you're constantly blocking yourself. 5 steps forward, 10 steps back. 5 steps forward, 10 steps back. Understand this concept. Understand this concept. Now, if you would really want to do an assessment, if you want to do an assessment that could help you really understand whether you're leading from safety or from purpose, I'd like to help you. Send an email to me, reinvention@kamoye.com. Reinvention@kamoye.com. Send me an email. Reinvention@kamoye, my email address, my website.com. Send me an email, and someone's going to be in touch with you. We'll start a conversation that helps you really measure what structure of mind are you operating from. Is it from the socialized mind or from the self-authoring mind? Are you leading from purpose or are you leading from safety? Right? Thank you so much for joining me here today. Sorry we started a little bit late. We had technical hitches. I'm glad we're live right now. As you're here, kindly like and share and get this message to as many people as possible. Join me next Saturday on Reinvention Saturdays. We're going to be talking about how to manifest your genius code. How to manifest your genius code. How to manifest your genius code. That's what this coming Saturday is going to be. 9:30 a.m. Get the word out there. Put the reminder on. I'll see you then. Bless you. Be well. And bye for now. Keep leading from purpose. Bye-bye.